Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about the movie Parasite. I watched this movie alone in the movie theater near our school after the final exam. I wanted to refresh myself, but after watching this movie, I felt depressed. Anyway, I'm glad that this movie was recognized in the film industry and made Korean known in the world. Also, this movie shattered the barrier of the Oscar and made pivotal turning point in Korean film industry. This movie gave me a very strong impression and provided a lot to think about. I think many people felt like me. This is the table of contents of my presentation. Then, let me start my presentation. Parasite dealt with the gap between the poor and the rich. This movie depicts well the reality of capitalism, in which classes are determined by how much money they have. This kind of hierarchy is prevalent in the world, so many people could relate to this movie. But I'd like to pay attention to the Korean characteristics of this movie. First, the educational environment. The son was preparing for Suneung Korean college entrance exam. He already took the exam twice, but he didn't satisfy the result. He prepared the exam again. Actually, it is very common in Korea because students are taught that entering famous college makes them successful by their teacher, parents, even other adults. And the daughter couldn't prepare for entering art major in college because the tuition fee for Hagwon was too expensive to afford. In Korea, parents are enforced to spend a lot of money for their kids as educational fee. They try to provide Hagwon private tutoring called Gwawe for their kids. The woman in rich family also wanted her kids to take the high-priced private lesson. I think this is quite unique characteristics of Korea. Second, the living environment. In the movie, the poor people lived in semi-basement housing. This is familiar with Korean, but unfamiliar to foreigners. It was used as a symbol of poverty in the Parasite. This is relevant to price of a house. In fact, these houses tend to be cheaper than the others. Third, bond of family. As we could see in the movie, many Koreans have strong bond of their family. I think that's because Korean cultural background is Confucianism. In addition, many Koreans who are aged over 20 live with their family, and this is usual. Since Koreans have strong bond of family, and parents usually feel a strong sense of responsibility towards their kids, I think this can be a kind of Korean characteristics. Although I know that this movie is very meaningful in many ways, especially in movie industry, I don't want to use this movie as educational material in my class. There are some reasons why I think that way. First, there are some sexual or violent scenes that may be harmful to students. When I watched this movie in the theater, I was very shocked by those scenes. I couldn't anticipate that those things appear because the movie was available for those aged 15 or older. I can't forget the provocative scenes yet, so I think students can be more shocked than me, and I'm concerned about that. Second, this movie can make students have some negative prejudice. I think the title of this movie means the poor family. We don't have a positive attitude towards parasite. They only harm, don't benefit. and the obvious comparison in the movie between the poor and the rich made me uncomfortable. I'm very worried that some students regard the poor as a harm, and I'm afraid students who are in poor families perceive themselves as a parasite, as they haven't had their own perspective to recognize or criticize something. I think there is a need to be deliberate to use these movies as a material for education. Now I'd like to finish my presentation. Thank you for watching my video.